Hello everybody, welcome to another Eternal Deck Tech video. I'm glad to have all of you here. I've been really enjoying Set 4 and Into Shadow, and particularly the newest promo card, our wonderful, horrible new overlord, Caiphus. So Caiphus has been an absolute blast, and as you might have noticed, I did a Caiphus deck last week. I've done another one this week, and I really like this one. It's the one that got me from Diamond into Masters, and it's been performing pretty well. There's definitely some changes that could be made, but I'll get into that in a second. First, I just want to give a real shout out to all the wonderful people that have helped support this so that I can do these videos for you, all the people that sub to my Patreon or sub on my Twitch channel, and of course to my wonderful sponsor, inkgaming.com, where they do all kinds of customized playmats and mouse pads and other cool gaming gear. We have a store on inkgaming.com, and you can go and check it down below, as well as get 12% off your order if you check them out. Let's go ahead and look, though, at Caiphus Cleaver. So it's kind of what it sounds like. There was actually a deck that we did that was similar to this a long time ago. It would have been like set 2 when these first came out, but it never really had all of the oomph for it. And now more and more there's been things that have been slowly added to it, just kind of piece by piece making it a little bit better. And I've come around to now where I think this deck is almost good enough. I'm not sure that it definitely needs some changes. Like, I think that you could do some things to make it better against certain matchups, and you're going to accept. I did a bunch of looking at what it was working against and what it wasn't working against. You're going to have to accept that if Skycrag aggro is mainly what you're facing, you're going to lose a lot. Skycrag aggro kind of eats you alive. You could make some changes to add in some like hailstorms or lightning storms to try and like even up that match, maybe put in like some more like permafrost or lightning strikes, like other kinds of early interaction. But as is, yeah, you're gonna have trouble. So there's some certain things like that that are definitely a hole in the deck, but overall it's had a really good win record. Like I said, it took me from Diamond into Masters, so I've been pretty happy with it. And essentially the idea of the original deck was Jotun Feastcaller and Worldbearer Behemoth with things like Twilight Hunt or Xenan Initiation. So you give them Killer, and then they can immediately attack and get that ability on them right away. So when it attacks, then you get a random power card from your deck and increase it by 1. And same with, of course, Jotun Feastcaller, except just drawing cards. Now, the reason why this is so good is not just that you immediately get to use it, so it's harder for your opponent to necessarily have removal. And even if they do have removal, I mean, Jotun Feastcaller has Aegis, but like, let's say they do have removal for Worldbearer Behemoth once you attack, then you still tend to get the power card at least a lot of the time. So like you can maybe do that if they have, say, like an Island's Choice or something. Beyond that, though, the bigger thing is, let's say that you don't have your opponent interrupt it. The real goal here is for you to go like play a Worldbearer on turn 5, then turn 6, go Twilight Hunt, put it onto the Worldbearer, attack. It's now Killer, and it has 2, right? Because it increases the ability to 2, so it'll get 2 power cards next time. The thing is, next time is immediately because you mirror image it. So you play mirror image. The mirror image of the Worldbearer Behemoth keeps the Killer, and it keeps however many stacks this has already had. Same thing with Dark Return. So you can like Dark Return this, and if it's got 2 or 3 stacks on it in Killer, you might get like an 8-9 Worldbearer with Killer that immediately draws you 3 power out of your deck. So you can imagine how that kind of snowballs. Now, where does Caiphus fall on all of this? Well, as it turns out, Caiphus, if you mirror image it, you play a copy. The summon ability of Caiphus goes off. So if you have the ability to go for like Worldbearer Behemoth and then get a couple of hits with it, you get up to 9 power really quickly. You can go Caiphus, mirror image, and immediately get another Caiphus with 6 random battle skills. And you can back that up by just Dark Returning another one out of your void if it dies. So like if they manage to kill the one with 6, you Dark Return it, and boom, you're back in business. Cirso's Cleaver does a similar thing to like all of the different fight cards here. So Cirso's Cleaver, kind of an interesting one. I talked about this before in another deck that I had, which I called Read a Book. And it's an interesting card in that most attachments just have the abilities printed on them. This one actually has a summon that the wielder gets Killer. So it's not that the actual weapon has killer, it gives it to the unit, so when you dark return it, it works just the same, or same with like mirror image. So you can actually use it the same as Twilight Hunter Xenan initiation. It'll always stay on the creature, even once the weapon falls off. And obviously feeding time's pretty useful. And then Vara Vengeance Seeker is another one. If you haven't been around, every single time that it comes into play, they have to sacrifice a unit or give it +2/+2 in deadly. It tends to stack very, very well with mirror images and dark returns, as well as all of the rest of the cards in this deck. So Dawnwalker is obviously same kind of thing. When you get killer on them, they're fantastic. Plus you can just rebuy them with Vara, as long as Vara has already gotten the +2/+2, or with Worldbearers and Caiphus's. So there's lots of things you can do. Dark Return on a Jotun Feast Caller will also make it 5/5, and you can use it to pull back Dawnwalkers. So there's like all kinds of little synergies here that we're trying to utilize. The rest of the deck is just ways to set all of this up. So whether that's like Trailmaker, getting us influence of our choice, and helping to ramp us so that we can get to like Worldbearer at 6, because generally you want to have like 6 with Twilight Hunt or 7 with Xenan Initiation. You might just slam it on 5, but it's nicer to slam a Feast Caller. We do have very, very heavy influence requirements, you might notice. Triple Time, triple Primal, double Shadow, lots and lots of influence requirements. So Trailmaker is very, very key to a lot of this. Same with having 4 Seek powers to just help that out, and all of our crests. But then like we have Strategize, and then the rest of it is a lot of removal spells. Annihilates, Twilight Hunt, Xenan Initiation, the Mirror Image to copy things. Aurelian Merchant, obviously, because, again, more ramp to get to all of these really high-impact cards that can come down pretty late. And also to get to the market. In the market, we have an Elysian banner so that we can make sure that we're getting to that triple time and triple primal. We have another initiation in case we don't have fight. Cirso's Cleaver, because sometimes an initiation is really good, but maybe not enough. Cirso's Cleaver can kill 2 things at once, and also silencing it is huge. Like, occasionally we'll be facing down other Caiphus's, so having something like a feeding time is excellent, being able to just make sure that Caiphus does not come back. We have a Worldbearer, so we can make sure that if we're missing like a big beater, we can grab one. And then, you know, if we want a real beater and to show off our true power, then we have Azindal, because Azindal is kind of the epitome of silliness at this point. This card's crazy powerful, so we're going to have an Azindal in the side as well. And yeah, that's the deck. I'm going to run it through a gauntlet, and we'll see how it does. Stay tuned for the next video.